I couldn't edit my live streams after I posted it. It would upload it as a separate video, which would like delete all the views and all the stuff from the original video, which was annoying to me. And then I just went on to YouTube Studio and found out I can edit it because I could cut out my first like minute of me fumbling around on my phone trying to like send the tweet out and stuff like that. And I just found I could do it. So we're back in the dubs. YouTube says we are streaming. Oh fuck me, dude.
What?
Fuck, I totally forgot to fuck. What? We're gonna have to end the stream and fix it because my audio, I forgot to put the URL thing in.
Well, it sounds okay right now. It sounds good. No,
I don't know, dude. I'm worried it's gonna suck.
Like wait, what are you worried about? Because like, there's no the
audio being choppy. The audio being choppy, cutting in and out like it used to. The last 2 or 3 episodes hasn't had it. Or the last 2 episodes, I think.
It sounds fine to me. There's no like cutting or anything.
Hold on.
Choppy. The audio being choppy, cutting in and out like it used to. The last 2 or 3 episodes hasn't had it. The last 2 episodes.
Okay. All right. Fuck it. I don't want to turn it off anyway. Fine. All right.
I think you're good. I think it was like noticeable before.
Yeah.
Like a few weeks ago, it was obvious, but like now it's fine.
All right. Well, hopefully it's fixed. Guys, if you're in the comment section, 1, we appreciate being here. 2, keep me honest here. If my audio starts to sound like shit, please tell me now if it starts cutting a little bit and just being choppy. If it is, all right. I don't like how you're saying this, King Flores. You said okay twice. What does that mean, dude? What do you mean audio is okay? It's either good or it's not, bro. Like, you gotta tell me if it's good or not. Don't tell me okay. Okay, that's like a girl saying it's fine. It's like, no, it's not. Precious Kate always sounds like shit. Oh boy. All right, we got a lot of things to talk about, guys. Welcome to Tea Time, episode 27. We've got Andrew Tate, TOPG coin, making a massive over a 10x. And I have some information about this coin because I traded this coin and I made a lot of money doing this shit. So we're gonna talk about TOPG coin. We're gonna talk about MOONBIRDS having a lot of FUD. And I'm interested in Tom's opinion on this because he's in the business world. We have the CCO stuff happening. And not everyone knows anything about that, but I'm sure Tom has been all over that. Well, I don't know if you have, but maybe you have. Crypto dick butts blowing up right after I made a TikTok about them as a joke. And then we have OK Bears doing an airdrop with gold, real gold, tangible gold, which is weird.
Wow.
It's very interesting. We have I just covered this. If you guys are on my YouTube, I just covered this illegal cryptocurrency thing that's happening with Tornado Cash that's putting a lot of celebrities in hot water potentially. We've got NFTs coming to Instagram, and that's a whole lot of stuff. So if you're excited to get into it, smash like in this video, subscribe to the channel, join the kingdom. Make sure you follow Tom and all his stuff. His link tree is down below in the description. But before we jump into my stuff, do we want to do some Summit Club banter first?
Yeah, do you know what? Like, I think it would just really like quickly and briefly just talk about some. I'm not going to shill anything. I'm just going to talk about kind of my experience. And this is something like when you look at people who are launching projects, we've been going through this process at the moment. Cryptid Dan's there. He's been helping out loads. Nice. But I've been doing loads of like AMAs with projects and Twitter Spaces and Discord AMAs, and they've been incredibly good fun, like super good fun, meeting new people, talking about stuff, and I don't know. I feel really lucky because I haven't yet kind of had people ask tough questions. What I mean by tough questions is in like I haven't had people like ask me questions where I'm like, shit, like, is this really the right thing that I'm doing? I think people get it. People understand the impact of community, impact of network. And like we've been welcoming loads of cool new people into the group. It's really starting to pick up momentum, which is very like for me, it's a very rewarding kind of feeling because it felt like a big risk, but then it's like now it feels like we're gathering momentum. But yeah, big up Cody. We were on the flat water today, mate. I'm sorry.
Yo, Cody, when we do the OK Bears segment, if you're still in here, if you want, at least I can send you the restream link if you want to pop in for 5 minutes and talk about the OK Bears airdrop. I don't know if you heard about it, but they're doing some kind of tangible gold airdrop thing. If you want, just comment back and say yes or no. If you want to be part of that, we can literally do that right now if you want.
Get it on your phone. Just like grab it on your phone. Just click the link
on
your phone.
Yeah, if you want to do it, Cody, just let us know. We'll bring you on for 5 minutes. We'll talk about it. I think it'd be fun. Okay, so you've been hit with all the hard questions, right? About the Summit Club already?
Yeah.
All right, let me drop a couple of my questions then.
Yeah, go for it.
I have I don't know if you watched the last Logan Paul fight or not. Sorry, the last Logan Paul podcast with Jake, and they talked about the fact that so Jake Paul said, "I'm going to be world champion," right? We've heard him say that before, right? And so Logan goes, look, Jake, I love you. I know you can conquer the world. I know you've done everything that you said no one said you could, but this is something else, bro. He goes, this is you like world champion. He's like, bro, I love you, and I think you can, but like at the same time, what the fuck, you know? And so here's my question for you. What is the immediate, you pay the $2,000 or however much the mint is, right? What is it that, I know the selling point is the networking, right? But what is it? Who is the connectors? Like, who are the networking people that people can't get a hold of that the Summit Club gives you access to? Like, what is the reason that you can charge $2,000 for the NFT? Because that's my question. My biggest concern is that if you try and reverse engineer a Zeneca or another collection like that, Zeneca's mint was 0.03. You know, my NFTs are at a half ETH floor, but they start at 0.03, 0.07.
Yeah.
If you come in with $2,000, like why and what?
Zeneca, I'll just correct you on that. Zeneca's was 3.33.
Okay, what did I just watch then? I just watched some video with Zeneca and he talked about it there. Like, did he drop another project?
He has 2 projects.
Oh,
The first one was 3.33 ETH.
Gotcha.
And that was at a time when ETH was $4,500. So he was charging $17,000 to enter his club. And
what was he offering? What was his specific thing he was offering?
It was the opportunity. So the reason is that he was getting a lot of people asking him for consultation stuff. So how do I launch my own project? And he didn't have enough time. And he was like, instead of just charging like loads of consultation fees, I'm going to create a project. I'm going to yeah. Well, this is an example of like if you don't get the facts right, it's very easy to like not understand the entire story.
100%.
But yeah, like it was okay. Well, if you pay, and at the time it was, if you pay $15,000, you will get access to me. But and you'll be able to ask questions. You'll be able to like be in a network and ask that stuff. And I know a few people who were members, right? And it was really good. But again, it's like 333 members. How are you expecting to get one person to deliver information to all of those people? So we're going for a much smaller size. We're going for like 69, which is a number which actually, quite interestingly, the only challenging question that I've faced so far is why the number 69. But it was a genuine question, as in like, do you know that the number 69 is offensive?
Offensive?
Yes. Yeah.
I don't know, man. I like 69. I quite like 69. I'm not going to lie. I know a lot of people say they don't like it. I know there's a lot of stigma around it. I think 69 is very effective. I know many people in relationships that have a great time with 69. I love it.
Dude, we laugh though, but I got called out at the end of an AMA.
Why?
Do you know what? It was a really, really high quality AMA with a really great, it went so well. And then we opened it up to the panel and someone was like, why did you choose 69? It was, we're supposed to be in an inclusive, in Web3, we're supposed to be inclusive.
Okay.
And to be completely honest, at that time, it was really late. I was feeling pretty sick the other day. And I was like, I'm not going to defend this. So I just apologized. I was like, I'm really sorry. I didn't understand that. I'm super ignorant. I didn't know that it was offensive, but I will like obviously take that on board and reconsider things. And it was it was interesting. So as like King Flores has posted, right, like in a professional environment, 69 looks bad. And but this is quite interesting because the way that I've pitched this is that the Summit Club is for Web3 natives.
Yep. And
in my opinion, if you don't understand the web, like the kind of, and this is kind of taking it back, like in my opinion, 69 isn't offensive. It's a number.
I'm offended. I'm not gonna lie. I've had my mind changed. I'm fucking offended right now. I cannot do this. I'm gonna have to turn this live stream off because you have 69 NFTs and that's not okay. Honestly, bro, the fact that you like, here's the thing with hate comments, stuff like that. If you don't care to have them in your community anyway, then like them not understanding something, it's good because you're like, okay, great. You're not gonna be the community. I do not want a person who's gonna fucking make a big deal. Like, tell me was it something legit? What is 69? Why is that offensive?
I didn't dig it. I honestly, I was feeling, it was like midnight. I don't know why. I just felt like I felt like I was sick. I was sick that day. And I was just, at that point, I I'd kind of like, it had been a long day, and I was like, I'm not gonna, I don't want to entertain this conversation. So I was like, I'm sorry. I genuinely, I was like, if it is offensive, I need to find out why it's offensive, but like, leave that to me, and I'll kind of I'll try and figure that out. But it was definitely linked. It was linked to, from what I understand, their comment was based around conversations that are had in maybe like more female communities.
Bro, I know so many lesbians. My sister's a lesbian and she does 69 all the fucking time. You don't need a dick and a vagina to do 69. You can have anything. You can have it doesn't fucking matter. Insert any item and you can have that down on your pelvis and you can do 69. It doesn't have to be a penis and a vagina. What the fuck? I thought it was something else. I thought it was clearly something else, like some kind of devil worship thing with 69, like horns or something. Like, is it not that it's literally the sexual position? That's what they're mad about?
I can only assume.
Okay, all right. They're cast out. They've been banned from all
this is my point is that like, to King Flores' point in the comments, it might be considered unprofessional, but I have a
lame.
To be honest, to be completely honest, I don't give a fuck.
Thank you.
I
all right.
literally do not give a fuck. Like,
and you had a slip up. You had a slip up, and out of all these AMAs, you're bound to have a moment where you just say something that you wish you hadn't. A few weeks later, you're like, I wish I hadn't. I wish I had said something else, like "fuck off." Like, that would have made way better sense. That's probably what I would have said. But you've done so many AMAs, so
exactly. I think that I think it was a case of like, the AMA had gone so well, and I did not want. And this is what I suppose if I look back at my kind of my life and my career, when I've got myself into trouble, it's when I've been a little bit too reactionary, too emotional. And what I was quite proud of myself was that at the time, I just recognized that this wasn't the right time or the right place to be defensive and or potentially actually to be like offensive in a kind of like an antagonistic way. I was like,
yep.
It's been a long day. I feel sick. It's fucking midnight. I'm not going to be able to defend myself with clarity. This is news to me. I'm so sorry that this is offensive. Like, yeah. And then I moved on and we ended it. And it was like, I felt like I moved through that process, quite well. I was like quite proud of myself in the way that I navigated that, instead of it turning it and being, which I would have done 10 years ago.
Yeah.
I would have done something very different. But yeah, so that's kind of a little bit about that. It was just the fact that it was offensive, but yeah, maybe again, like, perhaps this is something that we need to be aware of. Like,
no, it does not fucking matter. If I don't want them in my community anyway, then like, I don't care, bro. Like, if someone comes into my comments, like, for example, there's this big TikToker, right? He just commented on my video the other day and was like, honestly, he unfollowed me. He goes, your takes are getting worse and worse. Like, you suck, basically, was the comment. And it's just like, bro, I don't care. Like, it doesn't make me more money if you follow me. I don't give a single fuck. It makes no difference. If I don't think, like, it doesn't matter. Like, if they don't like your community, then they can fucking leave. It doesn't help you. There's tons of people who do fuck with you. And I'm sure there was a bunch of people in that AMA who were like, what the fuck? How is that offensive? Like, I wonder what Tom's going to say. Like, hopefully he just tells this girl or guy to fuck off. Like, this is so stupid. And there's a couple people in there who were like, I can't believe Tom's like said that 69 thing. But it doesn't matter. You don't want them in the Summit Discord. They wouldn't make sense anyway. They'd be in the Summit Discord causing fucking chaos and confusion and just anxiety anyway. So it's like, fuck them.
And I felt like I recognized that immediately. But I was like, I'm not in a place where what I didn't want to do, I didn't want to leave that event, which I spent like an hour and a half with them, and it had gone really well. And I didn't want to leave that event with the picture of like people thinking, okay, this is the first time they've met me, and they were like, this guy's like a hothead. Do you know what I mean?
Like, that's the thing. Like, here's I mean, I'm sure you know this, but there are certain people who watch content and they form opinions very quick. And then they roll with that and think that they said this one thing, that is who they are. So this is why we bring up Andrew Tate, right? Andrew Tate says this one thing about something that people ask him about, and they go, that is what Andrew Tate's about. That is what he means about this. This is how he lives his life. Oh, all these things. You're like, bro, he said that because you asked him. Like, he said that because you asked him. He's not walking around thinking, man, women are objects. Like, that's not what he thinks about at breakfast. Like, someone just asked him, and he's a very fucking traditional dude who lives in the Middle East. Like, he's surrounded by people and like webcam models. Like, that's just what he thinks because that's where he grew up as. But he's not like walking around thinking about it. It's just because someone asked him that he thought about it. So it's the same with that. Like, when you're a smart person with a decent level of intelligence, you're not going to take one thing someone says and think this is who they are as a person and they suck and I hate everything about them. They're not going to jump to those conclusions. A rational, normal human being is going to take 100 different things you said and take the message that underlies all of it under all the details and stuff. And so, yeah, the people who can't do that, you don't want them in your community. They're not going to help you. They're not going to raise the bar for the Summit Club. They're just going to bring it fucking down. So that's interesting that you brought that up, though. They're really, really interesting story.
Yeah, like kind of, it was surprised me. It really surprised me, and I was like, okay, well, this actually feels like some of the first
FUD.
Yeah, it was FUD, but it was just like, it's like, okay, well, it's interesting that people have these. It's just interesting that people have so many different perspectives, and you're like, okay, well, you've disregarded. Well, apparently everything that seemingly everyone was like loving has completely been negated by the fact that I've chosen a number.
Yeah, that's ridiculous, bro.
And it's like, it's like people, if I had chosen 68, people would be like, why did you choose 68? And then
they'll one away from 69.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, well, where do you draw the line?
Yeah.
So I appreciate the first story. But to go back to a question about like where is the value coming from? What I'm working on at the moment, and this is what I've been working on the last like couple of weeks, is formulating a way to better like not market, but like explain it in a more digestible format. So I've got a bunch of videos coming out. I've got a bunch of like I'm going to be creating like various different types of content for all the different ways that people consume stuff, so that it's easy to understand like where value is coming from. And that's just from like the learnings that I've taken from speaking to people over the last few weeks. People have come into the Discord and might be it's not obvious. We've been making it a lot more obvious, but I'm going to make it fucking like as obvious and clear as day what it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, like a big part of that is, so Cade, for example, is going to be a token holder. He's going to have a club number. He may get lucky. He may get the number 69. Who knows? But it's the filtering down of what my network is and how they can feel like they're a part of the community. So there's going to be an option. There's going to be an option for Cade. Cade will be able to choose whether or not he wants to be a part of the Summit Club or not. If he does, there are going to be some areas where he can contribute to the entire mission, which will filter down into people who are the token holders. The great news is that I know that that's low effort for Cade, like what that stuff will be. And he'd be more than willing to do this, as it would be the case for me reciprocating for me to the George Kingdom. And this is a long-term thing. But the key thing is how do we make that, me and Cade understand where this is, but it's how do we make people who don't have a fucking clue who we are see that? So that's what I'm really excited over the next like couple of weeks to make a big bank of. I'm fucking excited for this. This is like the first time I've been excited for content creating in a while, because it's like, this is where I get to test myself.
What is it though? What is the content you're talking about? Because I don't even know. I'm down to do it. I don't know what it is. What is the specific value though? Like, what are they getting? And also, who is the target audience? Like, was Zeneca talking to beginners in the NFT space? Is he talking to traders? Like Liam D, his was specifically for trading. That's why I didn't hold it, because I'm not a trader like that.
So Zeneca was if you look back at like all of the pitch stuff he launched at a time when people were throwing around fucking thousands and thousands and thousands for fucking like, pictures of rocks.
Was he was he like someone in the space at that time?
Yeah, he was one of the like early influencers for yacht clubs. So he had access to some. He raised, I think, like 30 million across his both across both of his launches. So the project you mentioned was he launched the 333 Club, which is the kind of like the high tier, $15,000 to be able to get into that. It's 17,000 to get into now. So it's still like a high barrier to entry, but it was pitched at people who were interested in launching projects. The way I'm pitching it at the moment is that there is a huge amount of opportunity in Web3. You have got a very specific direction on where you're going. all of the people in my network have a very specific direction of where they're going. This is the time for people who have skills in certain areas to really, 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 really dig into their specific area. And my value add is that I can connect them with the best of the best of the best. And I'm not going to give away too much details because, like I said, it's going to be coming in the next couple of weeks in a much like more entertaining and easier to digest format. But
leading up to Mint or after?
Oh, before.
Okay, that was my main question, because I was like, I feel like I was like, there's not enough information for someone to be like, let me fork over $2,000. Because I was like, he hasn't made videos. I was like, well, that was my next question. Like, why? I know you're busy, but I was like, why hasn't he even made videos? Like, this is the time to double down on videos. Like with Riv, like Rivada from TikTok, like, she completely stopped making videos. I was like, bro, you lost all your hype. The videos are where your content and like your value comes from.
Yeah, so it's exactly that. So the answer is yes, I am. The question is as though, where is that? It wouldn't make sense for me and just go like spam TikTok and be like, this is where I'm pulling in people. Yeah. It still has to be designed for the people who are. So and this is really important to understand. So at the moment for what I'm going through, we're launching a project, and it's launching a business, but it's ultimately just like any business. It's a funnel. So you have a catchment at the top, which is the broad funnel, the broad, like the tip, the kind of like the top of the funnel. And that's when you're kind of going out to different communities, which I'm doing at the moment and having a fucking ton of fun doing it. We're going out and we're just sharing the vision broadly, right? We're broadly sharing what we're like doing. Gotcha. There are going to be people that like don't get it, and they're like, okay, whatever, they move on. There are people that are going to be like, this actually sounds interesting. I haven't heard of the Proof Collective or the 333 Club, but they sound like high value, interesting things. Like, how do I potentially get into something similar to this? The whole point is that they have curiosity, right? They're curious about where this can go. So what I have to design is like a funnel that at every point there's touch points that explains to people what they're getting, but it has to be relevant to where they're at when it comes to the funnel. So what we've got at the moment in the Summit Club is we've got a bunch of people who understand what the fucking vision is, understand what the potential value add is to them for their specific situations, because they've gotten past the few friction points that I've put in front of them to be like, okay, well, if you do get this, we're going to make it a little bit harder for you so that you understand why this is so valuable. So it's all kind of structured towards just it's actually removing people. It's at each point just being like, you know what, you're probably not the best fit for this, right. Because you don't get it. And it's narrowing it down so that we just get people who are like, fuck yes, I get this. And the challenge is that I had no idea how long that would take, especially in a market like this. I think this is one of my learnings that I'm happy to put out there. It took way longer than expected to try and like just schedule stuff. Yeah, schedule stuff going into other communities and scheduling things and time zones is a big part of that, right? So like when I'm at the end of my day, it's the beginning of the day for like CADE and North America. It means that there's a small window each day, like of a couple of hours, where I can lock stuff in or move things to the next stage in a conversation. I felt the challenge of like locking things in, and then I've had to I then have to go to sleep, and then it's another day before things move back around. So that's just a bit of insight. So it's taken longer than that, but what it's also done at the same time is given me a load of breathing room to really like be like, do you know what? I'm not. This isn't a hype project. I don't give a fuck about the numbers on my Twitter. I don't care about that. All I want to do is get to a few people in lots of different communities who might understand it, and give them the opportunity to be curious and find out for themselves. But then my point about content, the content that I'm going to be creating over the next like couple of weeks is going to be dedicated to the bottom part, where people have already come in, but it's like, okay, this is the clarity on what you're getting.
Gotcha. Cool.
So
that was my main question.
Yeah, and exactly that, because you're completely right. I've just had to kind of like, the scheduling stuff has been so time consuming. Yeah. Fucking so time consuming. And so this is again just a learning that I'm sharing, but now I've kind of gotten into a bit of rhythm. We're working together as a team and locking stuff in, and now we're at a place where I can come in and Yeah, I'm excited. Like, I'm excited. Like, it's kind of like, it's clear to me, and yeah, I mean, I'm excited to do this. Exactly what you said about like what Riv did, and yeah, kind of just share the details. But yeah, it's on its way.
Fire, dude. Fire. Okay, here's my last question with it. Then we'll jump into the rest of the stuff. I know people are dying to know about TOPG coin. What percentage of the Summit Club NFT project is going to be the people that you recruited, like me or like someone else, like a creator or whatever? And then what percent are going to be like buyers and investors that aren't? Like, is everyone a contributor, or is some people contributors and some people like people who are just going to like get value?
So it's this is how it was originally designed, was that there was 111 tokens in total, and this was designed around the thing that I've said in my videos, talked about, which is the scientific law around the maximum number of relationships that you can have with deep, meaningful relationships you can have with people. And from my experience being in lots of Discords where there've been thousands of people or hundreds of people, and I've found it impossible to follow along with information or dig into, find quality information. So the membership is 69, and outside of that, there is a treasury, and the treasury is split between the core team, who are kind of like OG members of the group, but are like now contributors to the actual movement forward of the group, and then experts like yourself, and those people are the part, because there's a couple of parts to this which so like yourself, you've got the George Kingdom, and you've got your access keys and your first collections. That is in my opinion, that is an opportunity for people to invest it in you at your like earliest level. What I want to do is I want my closest network to feel connected to my like journey and my story. So I'm giving people the option. I'm giving the experts that I know in my network the option of being part of that, and they can say no. And I'm like, that's great. But I know that if someone came to me and was like, Tom, do you want to be part of this? You don't have to pay anything. You don't have to do anything apart from contribute in these certain ways. I'd say, fuck yes, because I love you. And I know that's the difference the last 9 months has given me. I didn't have this. I didn't have this perspective 9 months ago when I didn't have the network that we have now, right? The group DMs that we're in. Yeah. So I think it makes, we're now capable of being a bit bolder with what we can offer. Like, I know that you could say to the George Kingdom, I can get these people in and speak to you, teach you, help you, and you know that it wouldn't be tough for you to do that, right? Like, and that's the thing that I want to filter down to the people who are like our our personal brand advocates.
Yeah. Well, Andrew Tate will be coming into the George Kingdom, everybody. He's going to be here in about 10 seconds. He's going to be coming into the stream. Could you fucking imagine Andrew Tate pops in the middle of us?
Let's move on to top. Let's move into top coin.
Okay. All right. So let me pull this up for you guys real quick. All right. Entire screen. No, we'll do window. Here we go. Okay. So here we go. Super quick. Oh, wait. Actually, let me make this full screen for myself because it doesn't change for the stream. Ah, fuck. It does change for the stream. Never mind. Okay. I was going to try, because like when I zoomed it out all the way and I used my whole screen, it like made it really fuzzy in my last stream. So I didn't like that. So, okay, we'll roll with this. So just real quick, if you guys don't know, Rare Ape Pepe's has been blowing up recently. I just did a full review covering it yesterday. It was a live stream. This project is popping off. Everyone's talking about it. Giancarlo made a video on the Pepe's NFT, not the same one, but it was a good video. And then this tornado cash thing we're going to talk about later on. I covered this as well. If you guys are interested, they're both trending on Twitter. That's why I made that video. And then what else? We did Kosher NFT interview a couple days ago. That was really fun. He shared a lot of stories, by the way. If you guys are interested in Kosher at all, that was a fucking fantastic. That was a fantastic episode. That was so fun. I interviewed VFriends Discord manager Nick Corso. Really cool dude. That was a really fun episode. If you guys are interested in that, and that is pretty much all that's happened this past week, I think. Something like that. Obviously, well, not obviously. I don't know if you guys know. I got to make an announcement on Twitter, but we have the Voltura podcast, the Psychedelic Anonymous, coming up tomorrow, I think. Yeah, in 24 hours exactly, actually, from here. So that'll be really fun. Hope you're excited about that.
Dude, that's but I mean, first up, big. this is exactly what like I was talking about, right? You know, we're like we're moving differently, right? We're moving differently to how we were like 9 months ago. You're now in a position where you have a robust enough network where you're able to lock this in, which we weren't able to do a year ago or 9 months ago. And yeah, this is fucking incredible. Like, it's incredible. You know, you're about to interview probably the most hyped upcoming launch in NFTs.
Yeah, I agree. And I didn't even realize it's really good timing with Izu. Is that the project? His second project? Yeah. So that was really good timing. I'm going to see if I can swing something for you guys. I know a couple people in my community were like, can we get some kind of something for Izu? And I was like, look, dude, I'll do my best, but I'm not going to push it too hard because it's going to be the first time meeting this guy. He's a really cool guy. I mean, he's super busy. And honestly, I thought he forgot for a while. And I sent him a couple follow-ups, and I was like, okay, well, maybe he'll get back to me. And then he was like, yo, dude, I'm going to be in the US. I'll be Eastern time zone. Let's make this work. And I think it's good. That's like the one good net positive. If you have a show that's been running for a year, like the Joy's Kingdom show has been going on about a year or so. So we have a lot of, I don't know, like they get something out of it. It's not like they're doing me a favor, really. Like they get a lot out of it. And like that's the one thing with Journey Crypto. I'm gonna try and get him on for episode 100 because I'm like, look, people don't know your personality. Like it's a real big opportunity for you to have that platform. And so it's one of those things that you have, but that's like you have to build that over years. Like that's something that you don't just get to have. Like unless you're already famous, like you're not going to be able to bring them any values. Like that's where, you know, this is the culmination of months and months and months of nailing podcasts and showing up. You know, me and Tom we've missed one episode of Tea Time ever. And this week's Tom like literally wasn't in this. I think you were like out of the country or something like that.
Yeah, I wasn't.
But like,
literally not in the country.
Yeah. So yeah, we're gonna make it work. It's just gonna be a fun episode. I'm really excited for that. Also, I finally set up my online store. It's not finalized yet. The hoodie and the crew neck you guys have seen me wear before, the Joy Age crew neck and hoodie, those won't be out till the fall. But I am likely gonna have in the next couple of months a Joy Age. So I'm working. We're using Adidas for the bag, the duffel bag. So Adidas duffel bag. It says Joy Age here. It's kind of hard to see here. And then we have the classic Joy Age t-shirt that you guys see me wear all the time, and then the Joy Age logo t-shirt. And then I'm going to try this out. I haven't tried this hat out, the red hat, because I ordered the original, like the hat you're seeing me wear right now is a very specific one that I don't know if it'll be made. Like, I don't know if that'll be something I can actually offer as something to sell unless I order them all and just keep them in my house or something. This is the one that I use with Printful. So if this one is good and I like it, I'll use that for the hat. And then those will be dropped some point in the next couple months, I hope. But that's what's going on there. I finally got that set up and like added it as a template. I used to just like think about it. I spent like 6 hours last night figuring out LLCs, figuring out fucking copyright, media, like all these rules and laws, and it's fucking so annoying. But I can't even, it doesn't even matter. Like my copyright and the trademark stuff doesn't even matter till I sell. Like apparently you have to start selling first and then you start doing trademark. Because I was like, what if someone steals my stuff? And they're like, they can't. Like they have to start selling Joy Age stuff and then like go through a 6-month process and get lawyers involved. I was like, okay, so no one's gonna really bother to do that. So let me just focus on doing my stuff first, and then and plus like I have like records of me using the logo from like 9-10 months ago. So there's no way for me to lose that battle really. So not really gonna rush that.
That's good. That's good that you like. The thing is though, what that shows is that you've now learned that. Like again, it always comes back to the fact that like you're like curious about learning these things, and I know it's fucking confusing. It's so confusing because I've done that myself, and it's like, so it's incredible. Like just it's cool that because you probably feel a lot more confident now about how this all fits in, and you're like really made a decision on what you need to do where you're at. So that's fucking that's epic.
Thanks, dude. Yeah, and honestly, for people who don't know, doing this shit is one, it's a lot of money. I spent over $2,000 now, samples, getting shit, or like trying out different blends. Like it takes a long time to figure out clothes. My friend Devin Chupapi, he's the CM for Wolf Boy Social. He's also had this experience with clothes, and he's like, dude, it's just a bitch. He's like, it's gonna take you 6 months to figure it out. Once you do it, it's good, but that shit takes forever to figure it out, and it's expensive. So I have done the work. The clothes is very high quality. I can assure you that. I work with Champion for the hoodie and the crew neck, the Champion actual clothes brand Champion for the hoodies. And then I work with Adidas for the bag. So it's high quality shit. It's really high quality shit. The shirt is a little bit more heavyweight. It's really good stuff. I think you guys will love it. I don't wear anything that's not Joy Age, really. Like I literally don't wear anything else because it's the best. Anyways, here we go. So I swing traded TOPG coin. This popped up as a TikTok guys, a TikTok video, right? Here's the guy. I don't know if you guys have seen him before. This guy made a video. It blew up, got 500,000 views. I found it at about 5 to 10,000 or something like that. I was in a TikTok live stream, and someone in my comments said, "Have you heard of this coin?" And I said, "No." It was trading at, right now it's at 0.0019, right? I bought in at 0.0006, and then I sold at 0.0027. So I made a 5x, pulled out my money, got greedy. So I jumped back in. It did another 2x. So I got a total of a 7x on my return. I put in $30, pulled out 200 something, which is hilarious. Just because I don't use BNB ever, and so I was just fucking around with it. I didn't even care. I just kind of forgot about it. But it was pretty funny. The TOPG coin. The only reason I gambled here is because I was really early. I was within the first couple like 6 hours of it launching, so it was really, really early. And I thought there's a potential that TOPG, Andrew Tate himself, will see this and be very excited about it. He was not. He, in fact, was very upset about it and DM'd this guy and said, "Yo, take that shit down. Quit saying this shit." Like really, really pissed off. And so. Yeah, I was like, okay, so Top G's not going to endorse this. He's not funny. He doesn't think it's a joke. He says, "Fuck you." So there's no chance this coin's going to go to the moon is what my perspective on it. It might. I just don't think it will. So I got out. I made a clean 7x. I'm happy with it. I wish I put more money in. I just didn't have any conviction. I thought it was a joke. But shout out to
you. Let's talk about this, but though, because what you did was fucking risky. That was an absolutely very, very, very high. But like you were playing with like money that. I assume like $30, give a fuck.
It was sitting there in D-Race. Like I forgot I had that coin. It was just sitting in a random account. It was worth $800 at one point, bro. It was worth $800. I just never pulled it out. I forgot about it. And I was like,
That's one of the OG Alex Becker coins right there. The old
I got a great deal. So I bought it under $1 and it was sitting at like $8 or $9 at one point. So it's literally like huge ROI. And I was just like, like it's fine. It'll keep going up. I just forgot about it.
So fucking dude. That was you made a risky play, but what you did was that you understood that the risk was mitigated by the fact that you were very, very, very early, but you didn't know when that message from Andrew Tate would come, or it would. And it came. I assume you had sold out before that message.
I got out right before, and plus I jumped out early. Like people were like, "Why are you selling now?" Like hold it. It's like, yeah, but you like. It's one of those things that you say that until you lose all your money and you're like, God, I should have pulled out earlier. And for me, like I have a better experience pulling out. I should have probably kept in 50% and like, or 25% because it did another 5x from where I pulled out. So I missed out on a 10x. I'm happy with the 5x, but could have pulled out a 10x, but that's saying I would have timed the top, which is very, very hard to do. And people don't realize like how difficult it really is. Like you don't know what's going on. Like you're literally just shooting in the dark. So it's way harder than people think. So when I saw a 5x, guys, if you see a 5x in a bear market, you better be pulling out some profit. Like that's disgusting. If you're not, you're a piece of shit degenerate if you're not pulling out profits at a 5x. So I pulled out some profits, but anyways, let's move on. So yeah, if you guys want to follow the Summit Club, so you guys know what's going on, this is his Twitter page. That's all in his link tree, I believe. So that's down below in the description if you guys are interested. And then this is his YouTube channel if you haven't already. So he will be uploading YouTube videos soon. He's going to hit 10K very soon, I think. So that'll be fucking dope.
It's coming.
It's coming, baby. All right, real quick, let's jump into crypto. $1,600, almost $1,700 Ethereum. It's been close to 1,800. It's been playing around doing its thing.
Dude, because it was. I thought it flew to above 1,800 earlier.
It may have just briefly, but I don't think so. And then actually, I'll just refresh that page. Maybe it has. We'll go to the ETH chart. From what I know, it's okay. No, right now it's at 1,800. Okay, so yeah, it's 1,800, a little bit over 1,800. So it's doing okay. I mean, the last 3 months, it's still lower than it was 3 months ago. I mean, that's when ETH was trading just above $2,000. You guys remember that back in the day. And if we look at the 1 year chart, yeah. Yeah, I don't really got much to say about it, honestly. David says, "Rip to my bag." Yeah. Okay, let's see. Here we go. OpenSea volume. Last 30. I'll go 30 days for everything here. What's it doing? Oh, okay. All right. OpenSea volume, I don't think it's been doing too hot, if I remember correctly. Jesus Christ, why is it screwing up so much? Okay. All right, so the last 30 days has been a whole lot just up and down. Not a whole lot of interesting stuff to talk about. Decent. I mean, it's like it's all right, I guess. Usually we're seeing like a massive drop off like in the last few weeks. It's usually like terrible, but it's not so bad. 291,000 users. 1.7 million transactions, 476 million in volume. That's all right. You know, I feel like I've just gotten used to the low numbers, but next up. All right, last 7 days, CryptoPunks, Rare Ape Pepe, YC, this is the one I covered the other day. Webaverse, Genesis Pass, Bored Apes, Moonbirds, Mutant Apes, Other Side Deed, NFTF, this is the Tiffany & Co. CryptoPunks collaboration. That's why it's at a 26th floor. Potatoes, Crypto Dick Butts, Bored Ape Count Club. Yeah, so that's happening in the top charts. And, oh yeah, Crypto Dick Butts. So this project mooned, right? It literally mooned to 4 ETH. It's at like 3 or 4 ETH right now. And it's just funny, like, shout out WG My Media. They covered it. No one knows quite why this blew up. It just kind of did. It's kind of a joke. It's one of those that could hit or could not. It's literally pure luck. And the reason I bring this up is because the day before it mooned, I made this TikTok and I said, hey, I would not buy that NFT as a joke. I just tried to find the most ridiculous NFT. And I did Crypto Dick Butts right at 2 ETH. The next day, I think it went to 4 ETH. And so I put out a tweet and I was like, I literally made this as a joke and I'm the one being laughed at now. So shout out Crypto Dick Butts, I guess.
Yeah, dude. It's so Crypto Dick Butts, I remember like back in the day when it launched and I was like, that's really funny. That's really funny. I'm like funny. And if someone had said to me like in 6 months time, 7 months time, it's going to be at like 4 ETH, it's going to flip Cool Cats. Think about that.
Dude, yeah, Cool Cats is down bad right now. It's like near 2 ETH.
Yeah.
Cool Cats is one of the projects that I'd like. Same with like a Lazy Lions. I just like them. I think it's just like the nostalgic factor. I just remember them back in the euphoric days of 10, 12 ETH Cool Cats. And I'm just like,
what do you honestly, like, why it surprises me, to be honest. Like I probably look back at it nostalgically and I'm like, I always considered it in the like top, I suppose, like at least top 10. Like it was top 10, if not top 5 back in like January. What do you think that says the fact that, like, you know, does that to me, because to me it's like, is the community as strong as we all thought? That's the thing that comes to me. I'm like, if people are willing to sell for a loss, does it mean actually that they're not really like, what are they missing? They're clearly missing something. What do you think?
With Cool Cats, dude, I think they just haven't done a whole lot. It's in general. They've just been riding on the hype of them just being Cool Cats. I mean, it's got cute like art and stuff. There's not a whole lot going on there. And then it's not that different from most projects. I mean, yes, they were at 10 ETH at one point, but their average is probably close to like 5 ETH, 6 ETH maybe. That I was trading at. So it's down 50%, which is pretty standard across all the blue chip collections. World of Women's close to 2, 3, 4 ETH right now. VFriends is down the same price point. So I don't think it's any different. I just think that they're just doing their thing. I don't quite know what they're doing all day. Like, that's my biggest question. Like, I know what Gary Vee is doing. He's just out there building his name. It's very tangible. Here's what he's doing. You can see him out doing keynotes. You can see him doing projects. He did VCon and all this stuff. And like, literally, like, not any other projects are doing anything. I don't know what they're doing all day. Like, they're like, oh, like, that's why I always ask founders, like, what do you do all day? They're like, I'm on calls. I'm like, yeah, but like, who are you talking to? And what are you talking about? Are you just wasting all day and just like the fact that you have $9 million sitting in a treasury, you're just kind of chilling? Like, what are you doing? You know?
So I'll give a bit of an insight. So to this, myself and Liam, as you guys, some of you might know, like we have started our own podcast called Unorthodox, and it's linked to our the agency that we're working for. And we've been chatting to some projects, and it's been surprising some of the things that they've come out with.
Okay.
And like, it leaves me to question like the whether or not like they really know what they're doing, to be honest.
They don't, bro. None of them do. Like, a couple do, like one or two, like Gary Vee, Kevin Rose, maybe.
Yeah.
Apparently not with this CCO thing. Who knows?
Yeah, exactly. My point is that I felt it, like, you know, to your question of like, what are you on these calls? Like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I have felt the other side where I'm like, fuck yeah, what are you guys doing? Like, what world? What are you living in? But these are projects, like you said, who have got tens of millions in their treasury, And
they're literally just draining their treasury. Like they're not doing a whole lot. There's
yeah,
little like here's the reason I'm excited to interview Voltura. If you guys don't know, Psychedelic Anonymous founder, Voltura is not his name. His name's Lewis Gale, but Voltura is his company. It's a whole entire Web2 company that he is called Voltura Labs, and that company oversees all these things, and they've got employees and all this stuff. And so if you, I mean, I did an entire full, I got to do an update video on them, and I'll do that after the podcast just so there's more context. But I've done a full in-depth review basically on them again, because I did a review on them a few months, like 6 months ago when they first launched, and they've done a lot of shit, dude. And if you keep up with what they've been doing every week, every month or so, they do like a little recap. They're like working with top tier designers, architects, like metaverse people, and they're actually doing things, and you can read it and you can see what they're doing, and they're dropping collections. There's like specific reasons though that they're dropping so many collections. Like they have an NFT just for the in real life NFT for like all these very specific purposes. And there's a very big difference between what I'm seeing with Psychedelic Anonymous and just about everybody else. And I'm like, there's a tier level here. And that's why I put Psychedelic Anonymous at an A-, I think it was, during my my tier video list. And I put Moonbirds at B-, or I think I put them at B. And I was like, I just don't think they're that good. They haven't done anything. They've only dropped the oddities, and they've done this airdrop of a fucking sling bag for people who held their silver nesting or something. Like, people thought it was going to be revolutionary. They literally got a bag, like a real life bag for being a silver nest. And everyone thought, dude, they've made so many tens of millions of dollars. It's like, dude, this silver nesting is going to be legendary. And Philip was so excited about it. And I was like, look, dude, I know you're excited about it. I'm not that excited about it. I don't think it's actually that cool. And the next week he goes, yeah, so I sold my Moonbird. I was like, oh, fuck. And he was roasting me the week before. Like, I had that video lined up of that whole 15-minute argument with him. And then it cuts to him it's like 2 or 3 minutes in saying, Moonbirds, Kevin Rose, blah, blah. And I was like, yeah, but like Moonbirds, Kevin Rose is not that cool. It's not that interesting. They haven't done anything. I don't think it's that cool. And then the next clip is him going, yeah, man, I'm so pissed at Moonbirds. I fucking like, what do they do with it? I sold it. I don't like, it's out of principle. And I was like, like, you see what I mean? Like, until they've done stuff, like Gary Vee did VCon. That was number one top thing on their to-do list was VCon. They pulled it off and they did it. That's why they get A-list. Moonbirds has only dropped oddities and been Moonbirds. That's the only thing they've done. Same with Cool Cats has like Cooltopia kind of. And like they kind of have their little metaverse thing that they're working on. But other than that, there's nothing tangible to say this is why they're A. It's just kind of like, yeah, they should be. They're just not.
Yeah. So, yeah. I think from, I understand that they've got like a big conference like planned, so similar to VCon. That was why they had like, they brought on, I think his name is Ryan Carson, maybe, was part of the guy who got kicked out. Yep. He was originally brought in because he was like an OG events coordinator, an events planner. I know that that's a large part of it. I think that there's a bit of from what I know of the project, there's a bit of a disconnect. I don't know if you've ever listened to like a Proof Collective podcast, which was I have a long time ago. Yeah.
A
long time ago. They are, I really wish that I could get into it, but it does just feel like it's a very collector based, and that's what Proof Collective is about. It's about high-end art collection. The thing is that the people who they're kind of pitching this podcast to are people who they're like, it's millionaires. They only talk about projects where the buy-in is like, tens of thousands or 20,000, 30,000, 100,000, and they only talk about that stuff.
Yeah.
So it's just like a classic thing. It's just not relatable to me. I'm like, well, I'm not at that level. If I listen to these podcasts, all I'm listening to is a bunch of like super hyper rich people talking flippantly about like spreading money around art collection, like of JPEGs in a really hyper niche. And I'm like, do you know what? Like, sure, keep on circle jerking.
Yeah.
I ain't going to put my cock in.
Yeah, I remember when I started making videos, I was thinking the same thing. I was like, okay, the NFT YouTubers are they're not saying anything helpful. They were like, okay, like what NFTs are you buying? Well, I'm buying cryptos at 10 ETH. This is what I think you should buy. I'm like, bro, nobody can fucking afford that. Like, you're not helping anyone by saying you should be buying Bored Ape Yacht Club. You should be buying CryptoPunks. I'm like, yeah, dude, no shit. They're the top 2 projects. Of course you should be buying them. The fuck? How is that helpful to anybody? And that's literally because I started YouTube because I was so fed up with bullshit content. I was like, yo, anyone could say you should have bought Bored Ape Yacht Club. Like, yeah, dude. In hindsight, of course you should have bought Bored Ape Yacht Club. How the fuck is that helping anybody now? The buy-in is 200 grand. What the fuck? And so I agree, dude. And it depends. The Proof Collective has their own specific demographic they're going for, but
yeah. And I just wonder if there's a disconnect between Moonbirds and the Proof Collective, and
I think so.
There's I know that they're trying to build their metaverse, but yeah, I think you're right. They've got a lot to build on. Talking about Bored Apes quickly, this is a little story. I spoke to a guy today who this is a call that I just had, and he at one point owned 7 Bored Apes.
Wow.
But he was one of the OGs in the Bored Ape group community, like really early on, owned 7 apes, and I was like, this is really interesting. I've always wanted to speak to someone who owned Bored Apes really early, and I was like, when because I don't know when I would have sold. I think I would have sold really, I was up like a couple of grand. I would have sold. Yeah. He said he sold them all for like a few $1,000s each.
Yeah, I mean, that's how it is, dude. You never know. I mean, hopefully when I think back, I'm like, oh man, like why didn't I just mint like 4 or 5 of them? It's like, that's probably what I would have done. And I probably would have held on to like 1 or 2, but I definitely would have sold the majority of them at like, I mean, if they went from half an ETH to like 3 ETH, I probably would have sold almost all of them, like if not all of them. So it's really hard to hold. Like no one knows what's going to happen. It's just now that you look back.
It was a complete, like, no one knew what was going to happen. If people who were in there who were lucky, who were financially stable enough to just be able to hold and like not give a fuck, then they were the ones that would have held all the way up to $250,000. Yeah. Interestingly enough, this is another interesting story because this was fucking blew my mind. This guy who I was speaking to today, he was talking about how he's organizing an event. And he was working on closing a deal to get a celebrity in and to get them into the country that they're in and to be there for an hour. No more details than that. Can you guess how much that the deal was for an hour of this person's time?
20K?
Well, think about what the most famous person on earth, how much they would charge for an hour.
200 grand. 500 grand.
This was $400,000 for an hour. And
I'm
like,
Jesus Christ.
I didn't know that kind of fee. I was like, even like Elon Musk, like this is really a thing, like 400 grand for an hour.
I think Gary Vee charges 200 grand for keynotes, which is like about an hour and a half.
Yes. Yeah. You're yeah. But I mean, then I'm like, even then, like, I feel like Gary Vee is at the top of the fucking pile, right? Like if you're getting an hour from someone, that is like value. You're getting fucking loads of value from that, and you're getting a name.
Yeah.
400 grand? That blew my mind, mate.
Yeah, man. That's why if and when I get Gary Vee on the pod, we're gonna get a $200,000 discount because he'll be on the pod for free. But if someone wants to donate me 200 grand, please send me your Bored Ape. I think it'd be really fun. So if anyone has a Bored Ape they want to send me, I think that'd be a really fun thing to do. I think you should do it.
Please do.
Okay, so let me just hear what your perspective is on this. Moonbirds and Oddities go CCO. For people who don't know, now that means that anyone can use any of the Moonbirds for, like, if you have Moonbird number 20, someone else can use your Moonbird 20 and basically do whatever the fuck, and you can't say anything and you don't have rights over it. The only reason I think this is fucked is because they told everyone that that's not the case when they bought it, and then they kind of dropped this on everyone without any kind of voting or anything. I don't really care so much about the fact that they dropped it on everyone without telling anyone. I'm more like, the controversial bit for me is the fact that the CCO was a specific news that came out. I don't care too much about companies doing stuff without telling their supporters. I don't think that's as important. Like, I don't think you have to involve the community in every single decision because they don't understand jack shit about anything anyway. Like, hey, should we do this? And like, no one knows. Like, half the community is a fucking bunch of kids. And then the other half is a bunch of idiots who just bought a fucking pixel Moonbird that they got lucky on a raffle. And it's like, they should not be making decisions. So I have no problem in doing that. It's just the fact that they went CCO, which is interesting to me. Like, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think like you're totally right. Like if you think about in the grand scheme of things, because I saw a couple of examples of, there was one guy who was saying how he was close to closing in on a 6-figure deal for use of his Moonbirds. For commercial use of his Moonbirds, and
bullshit.
That I know, and that's like now being wiped off the table. And
I don't believe that though. I also don't believe that. There's no fucking way someone's getting paid 600 grand or six
exactly,
figures.
Exactly right. Like, really, no, it's bollocks. So, and to your point, like how many of these people really are thinking about commercializing their like pixelated fucking owl?
Nobody, and no one was gonna get it anyway. Like that 100% was a fucking fake. He just made that up so he could have something that people would be like, "Oh yeah, you could do that. That is fucked up."
Yeah, he was using it as a justification of selling his Moonbird was that he had got wiped out of a potential 6-figure deal. I do think it is a little bit shitty that they kind of. I feel like the community probably should have had a say in it. They should have been
this specific one. Yeah, I agree.
This specific one, because these things are fucking valuable. Like they are like, a lot. There's actually a fair bit of cash. So I do think they should have been there because they are. I think they're in the process of setting up their DAO. So and it was like probably that should have been one of those things that would have been ideal for going through a DAO, the DAO governance procedure. So
they also could have just explained it like, hey, this is what we're gonna do in 2 months. If you don't want it, then get out. This is what we're doing though.
Exactly. And so, in my opinion, they fucked it. Like this is a great example of bad like communications. Like
execution wasn't there. No one. People keep saying Kevin Rose. I'm like, where's he at, dude? I don't see videos of him on YouTube. I don't see him doing podcast interviews all the time. Like he should be. People are saying Kevin Rose is their calling card and this is their Jesus. I'm like, all right, well, where's he at, dude? I see Gary Vee out there. I see Volterra out there. I see myself out there. I'm like, if I don't see the founder out there put in work, then you saying this is Kevin Rose, that's why this project has a lot to do with it because of who he is. If he's not putting in work, who gives a shit, dude? Like, I don't know what Snoop Dogg's project is at, but I don't see Snoop talking about his project very often. I don't see any of these celebrities talking about their project. Most of them have completely denounced him. And so it's like, yeah, I don't know.
My feeling is that it is because it filters down from the Proof Collective being this like initial like hyper kind of like exclusive group of like VCs that have fuckloads of money to throw about, and it is a little bit of a feels when I listen to the podcast, frustratingly it does feel like a little bit of a circle jerk towards like super high value investing of like stuff, and it just doesn't feel, it's obviously fun for them. I sadly, maybe I'm just jealous. I'm probably just jealous. I'm just not like, I'll put this out there, but I can't play in their game. That's it. I'm playing their fucking blue Bugatti game.
Yeah. Look, before we jump into the OK Bears, this is something that I was talking to City, City Espo, right?
Yeah.
So I was talking to Cindy last night. Well, I guess it was this morning because I was up last night. I didn't go to sleep until like 6 a.m. But as you saw in the group chat, we were all being fucking full degen at 5 a.m. we were all
I was like an hour ago. I was like, Nick, why are you up? It's I knew what time it was. I was like, what time is it there? Because I fucking knew it was like 5 a.m. And the dude has been up in Australia all day and all night, and he'd just been to the gym at like 2 a.m. Dude,
let's fucking go.
Crushing weight. He's been hitting the gym hard, so he's looking jacked at the moment.
Tell you, man, you got to be hitting the gym if you're gonna be top G.
Exactly. If you can't be top G if you're not going to be like throwing it about. So
so
he's Cade is the same. I'm here during all day. I wake up at like 7 a.m. in the UK, and then I know that I've got my thing at 7 p.m. here. And basically it gets to about like 3 p.m. and I'm like, I see Cade still and it's like 4 hours to go. And I'm like,
oh god, it's just how it is, bro. Fuck it. I'll sleep later. But anyway, so I was talking to Cindy about this. We were talking about I basically told her like, great job with all her TikToks and YouTube videos recently. She's been putting out a lot of really helpful content on TikTok, especially, and then YouTube Shorts. And I was like, I think it's really good, and you're getting a lot of impressions for each one, so keep it up, basically. And she was like, yeah, I don't see a lot of people actually helping anyone. Like, it's just a bunch of people saying, I'm helping onboard new people, but it's like, okay, like how? Well, I'm on panels. Like, yeah, what are you saying? Well, like I'm like, it's a circle jerk. It's just everyone fucking in an echo room saying the same thing. No one's actually helping. Like what Sydney's doing is she's basically going through all these really difficult concepts and explaining them in 30 seconds. Yeah. I'm like, that's tangible evidence of help right there. And you're actually, if someone says, what are you doing? You can show them your TikTok and like, it's irrefutable. Same with my YouTube. Like when people say, you don't know what you're talking about, like, bro, you go to my YouTube channel and I can prove you fucking wrong. I do know what I'm talking about. I have over 100 reviews. Like I do know because I actually put in the work. So it's a bit different. We were talking about the fact that most people say every agency right now is trying to onboard new people, but how? And I would say 9 out of 10 of them have zero clue about how they're doing it. They're just saying the same thing everyone else is saying. And honestly, it's not actually helpful. Even to people who are new and have no idea about anything, it's really not that helpful. Like, it's not helpful at all. In fact, it's just a bunch of like, they'll leave that meeting more confused than they were going in. They're just going to be like, okay, I know a couple extra words, but I don't know what any of them mean, nor how they tie into anything else. And the only people who win are the people who took their money, basically. And they're like, I'm an agency. And that's the issue with, like, I love what Brett's doing. I love what he's doing, trying to do, teach people how to make an agency. But the problem is like, it's not really on him. It's going to be the fact that all these other people are going to try and make agencies, and they're all going to be cookie cutter. It's all going to be a bunch of people making online courses, essentially, who actually don't have anything to offer. They don't have their own project. They don't have their own community. It's going to be basically another college situation where we have business coaches teaching business who don't have a business. And that's what I'm scared of, is that's where we're going to see most people. The good thing is it's going to be a very clear and obvious distinction between the people who are actually giving back, because they will be the ones who win in 5 years. When they say, okay, who are the top people? It's going to be the people who are actually giving out value. Everyone else will be gone, dude. They'll just be not relevant because they're not helping anybody.
Yeah. So this is exactly why, like, the agency that myself and Liam like have created is content is going to be our competitive advantage.
Mm-hmm.
And that is going to be, that's why we've started a podcast. We're putting into a plan together we're working with people who have grown TikTok accounts to hundreds of thousands. We're working with people who are like, we know how to grow social media channels across all channels. And we know that this is our competitive advantage. What we're going to be spending the next like 6 months or so in is just refining and testing stuff, figuring out like what is the best type of content for the best type of people. Like, what are brands, people who work for brands who are looking to understand what Web3 is, what do they need to know? Like, what is information? Where are they at? And what's the type of content that's going to be best for them? So we're going to go through this like testing phase, but we see what you just said, which is the gap that everyone else has, which is they haven't had their own projects. This is exactly why I'm launching the Summit Club, is so that I can demonstrate that I've got skin in the game. I've been through it. I've like understand how contracts work. I understand how to like, I'm there and I'm playing. Like, I couldn't do the agency stuff without doing what we're doing in the Summit Club. So it's a stepping stone. At the same time, I know that I can help a bunch of people below that who kind of feed directly off that. But that's where we see a huge opportunity, is like, okay, well, how do we make this easy for people to understand? And that's really exciting. That's what's got me. I think about like the content that I'm going to create over the next like few years, and I'm fucking excited about it. Like, so excited. And it's just the moment we're just kind of figuring out the processes to make sure that we're when we hit it, we're fucking consistent as piss.
100%, dude. And I was talking about this on TikTok. By the way, people who are interested if you're on TikTok, I've been streaming almost every day on TikTok. I need to get better on live streaming TikTok. Mainly I'm doing it because I keep procrastinating shit. And if I'm live on TikTok, I'm not going to procrastinate. I'm just going to do my shit. And so we were talking about this yesterday, of the fact that like, I have accomplished every single goal that I put my head to. And right now I'm like on the way to accomplishing this goal, but it's weird because this time it's kind of like, motherfucker. What is this? What am I getting in the mail right now? I can wait. Okay, never mind.
Wait, do you need to go down and get something?
I was, but it's not. I missed the call, so they're just gonna cancel it. If I answered the call, I would have said like, let me run down there real quick, but I missed the call. I actually clicked decline, so they're just gonna leave. I bought a bunch of new underwear. Yeah, that's all it was. I realized I had more shorts and more t-shirts than I have underwear, and it was really fucking up my laundry cycle because I'm like running out of underwear before anything else. I was like, God damn it. So I bought a few extra pairs of Calvin Klein underwear because we're top G ballers out here. But anyways, I was talking about this idea that like when I wanted to play soccer, I was like, I want to be a college soccer player. So I did everything it takes to be like everything in the book of like how to play college soccer. I was doing all of them, and I went and played college soccer. And then when I got there, I realized, okay, professional soccer is not in my cards. I can't do this. There's a different level to this. So I gave up on that. And I said, okay, I'm going to be a bodybuilder. I'm going to get the sickest body ever. Did that, accomplished it. I look back, I'm like, oh shit, like I did everything that's required. And I just stuck to it for a few years and it happened, done. And then I was like, okay, like now I want to be a full-time YouTuber. 2 years later, boom, full-time YouTube. And I was like, okay, now it's time to be a podcast show host. Now I look back, I'm like, dude, I'm about to interview Voltura. I've interviewed Doodles. I've interviewed Dead Phil. So I'm like, I've done everything. I'm like, I'm literally on the way there. So like in a year or two, we'll look back and be like, shit, we got a whole ass show going on. We got tea time. Andre says Kate has holes in his underwear. No, I have plenty of underwear. I just need more. I have all my underwear is fine. I just need more. I just need more underwear. So that's what's going on there. So I'm really excited. Tom's gonna be the same shit, dude. Tom's gonna get his shit done. You know, whatever you guys say in the short to midterm for the Summit Club, it literally is irrelevant because in 5 years you'll be like, fuck me.
Yeah,
Fuck
exactly.
me, I should have gotten in.
This is the funny thing. This is the funny thing. Like, I was thinking about this just before the show. Actually, I was just watching some YouTube, just chilling out before the show, and this is the first time in my life I've had crystal clear vision on 15 years ahead of me. The first time in my life.
Let's fucking go.
I'm 35. Well, 34. I'm fucking adding an extra year on. 34. I'm 34, not 35. But this is the first time in my life where I've been really good at like setting goals and in the short term accomplishing stuff. Like I did this when I was like, even at university, I was like, I want to be the top of my year. And I was like, and this was when at a point when I was like nowhere near the top, and I was like, fuck, yeah. I accomplished that. Same thing as you. I was like, I want to be the best. I want to be one of the youngest people. I want to be the youngest person in the UK to become like a private dentist, and I accomplished that.
Go.
And this is, it comes back to, remember you were interviewing Kosher. I had the same thing as him. I've got a whiteboard down here, but I had a whiteboard, and it was the first time in my life I wrote goals on this whiteboard, and it was like very clear of like, wasn't necessary. It was goals, but it was more action points that I knew I needed to like hit to be able to accomplish those goals.
Mm-hmm. And
I did it. And this is the first time where I think, if from my experience, the way if I look back on my life, and I think I look at other people as well, the people talk about like the 7-year itch, like the 7-year kind of 7-year thing. I've definitely heard other entrepreneurs talk about this, and this is like now definitely for me feeling like it's a thing. 7-year cycles seemingly is a thing, and I've read about some people who talk about they plan that, you know, they look back and they're like, everything happened in 7-year cycles. What I feel like I'm at the beginning of a 7-year cycle.
Let's fucking go.
And it's like, yeah, and for me, I'm like, I know exactly what I'm going to be doing over the next 7 years. Yeah, I say that knowing that things are going to change, but I at least know that
you're on the train, bro. You're on the train.
I'm on the train, and I know where it can go. Yeah. And I know I've now surrounded myself by people that I know that they know where they can go, and it's a fucking crazy feeling. And yeah, bro. The craziest thing is that I actually know the next 7 years as well. Which,
oh shit,
that's something I've.
He's gonna be roommates with Alex Hormozy.
I'm gonna be cleaning his underwear.
That dude, that would that be your dream guest, Alex Hormozy, for like a podcast show or
something? I would. So I won't say, because I don't know what he will be doing, but like absolutely, like yeah. I have a whole suite of people who I would love to interview, and I'm not going to say that I will, because it's like I kind of like. Yeah, it's not that I don't. I kind of know that I can't. To be honest, I know that I will, but at the same time, I do see the way some of them move, and I'm like, I don't know if they will. This is just me looking at how they operate, and I'm like, I don't want to just have this as a thing and know it's going to get there. But yeah, like I said, my intent is for the Summit Club podcast to be interviewing the most highly performant people in the world.
Yeah.
From what I understand, Alex Hormozy has intentions to continue doing that, but I do like see I from what hearing his stories, I listen to his podcast every day, hearing him like turn out stuff, and you can hear that he is going through all these changes as well, and it changes his like perspective, and it's like, well, maybe the stars won't align, but I know that whoever is whether it's 2 years, 5 years. It might be a different person. It might be a different Alex Hormozy, but there's going to be a person who I'm like, fucking want to speak to you.
You will be able to.
And it's like, it's you know, we talk about the top G. You know, I'd love to interview him. I know that I will be interviewing that level of people. I just don't know who's going to be doing the circuits. It is, in my opinion, it is the podcast game is very circuit based. It's kind of cyclical, and I just don't know if the same people are going to be there. But I know I'm going to fucking be there.
Let's go. Fuck yeah, dude. I love that. A little bit of active manifestation on the screen. I'm going to take a 30-second piss, but I want to have, if you want to share your opinion on this, we'll skip the OK Bears until I get back. But the idea that NFTs are coming to Instagram literally right now. I know Andres is excited about this, but Instagram and NFTs are I mean, obviously it's going to happen because metaverse, like Meta, Facebook owns Instagram, so of course NFTs are going to come to Instagram. But what are your thoughts on this? At the test in May, Instagram is like literally doing this like right now. So just give me your thoughts like for like 30 seconds. I'll be right back.
Yeah. So my thoughts on this is kind of a bit a little bit kind of divergent. On the one thing, we've got a lot of people talking about how we've got people in two camps. We've got people that kind of like they love Instagram, they love being able to share photos, they love being able to like see what their friends are doing. On the other side, we've got people that want to kill Mark Zuckerberg because they think he's evil. And there's many people, especially in the tech industry, that are on this side. That's a slightly concerning thing because this kind of stuff is like dependent on him being able to push through this stuff. So there's a lot of untested things that we don't know where Instagram, we don't know where Meta is. There's a lot of people that really don't see Meta as being, we saw Vitalik, right? Vitalik Buterin, the co-founder of Ethereum, talking about how he doesn't think that the Zuck metaverse is going to be the metaverse. And I would have to agree. But what I know that guys like Andres, who understand that this is a platform that has billions of people on their platform, like billions, literally billions of people are on there, like across Facebook and Instagram. That is a ton of people. Again, kind of frustrating. So I saw Instagram rolling out the feature last week. I remember seeing a couple of influencers post about this. And of course, I opened up Instagram. And of course, when I went into it, I couldn't see it. And this is an example of regionality. So similar to how Twitter did the PFP stuff with the verified NFT PFPs back in, I think, March. Unfortunately, that was via Twitter Blue. Like, I would love to pay for Twitter Blue. We still do not have Twitter Blue in the UK. We still do not fucking have this functionality in the UK. And turns out we also don't have this bloody Instagram NFTs feature in the UK on Instagram, which is frustrating. So this is annoying for me, Cade. What I was just saying is that
I was listening. I had my video on while I was peeing.
Okay. Well, yeah. So like a couple of things that Meta and Instagram Meta is very polarizing. Within the tech industry, you've got a lot of people that seemingly hate them. We got Vitalik Buterin hates them. We then got other people who are like, yeah, but remember, like Facebook, Meta, and Instagram have billions of users. Mm-hmm. And then finally, I was saying that sadly, I don't fucking have this feature.
Yeah, that fucking sucks, dude. I know Andres has been really, he's been yelling at me to take Instagram more seriously, and I want to. I just, Look, dude.
So when I open up my thing, I don't have like digital collection.
I haven't even looked at it, and this is why. Okay. All right, I am the Gary V 2.0, but better. All right, I called YouTube Shorts a month and a half before Gary V did, and I knew the timing was right for it, and that's why I called it out. I don't think Instagram is even remotely close to the time to start putting in all the work for Instagram. I just don't. People don't care yet. It's too culty yet. It's still way too culty, and Twitter's the only place right now where people are congregating. TikTok is on the rise, right? Gary Vee hasn't talked about this yet either because he's not aware. He's doing BeFriends. He's doing all his things. My job is literally to know what's going on in crypto and NFTs. I know that TikTok is next. It's not yet, but it's happening literally right now. TikTok is where all the communities are forming right now. It's not going to be Twitter. It's not going to be Discord. Those are too niche. When the mainstream people come in, TikTok is going to be it. Right now, YouTube Shorts is picking up. Every third YouTube short that I put out is crushing it. They're getting 1,000 to 4,000 views. It's ridiculous. Like, they're coming from TikToks, bro. They're literally TikToks that I just upload. Right? I don't even take the watermark off. Like, I literally don't take the watermark off. I know Andrew's been yelling at me to do it. I don't take them off. Even when I take them off, nothing happens. Even when I do hashtags, nothing happens. By the way, I've been doing it for the last 2 days, trying hashtags. No fucking difference, dude. So for me, I know that the attention on TikTok, or I know the attention and my ROI that I would potentially get isn't there for me to allocate time and energy yet. I think it will be, but right now I think TikTok is where that energy needs to be allocated. So that's where I've been focusing it on.
Yeah, like you cannot deny. So you cannot hide around the fact that TikTok, we are getting close. We are getting closer and closer to that point where organic growth is going to be where it is on Instagram. Tough, like fucking tough. So we're in a finite time frame now where we do that. So yeah, I will completely agree with you. And this is why myself and Liam in our unorthodox content strategy, we are going to be piling so hard into TikTok and Shorts. Those are our so like Instagram will be a consideration, but it will be main focused initially on TikTok and Shorts, and we will repurpose stuff for Instagram, and we're going to come up with a strategy for Instagram, which will be it will be similar to kind of like what NFT Kings does, so like top views, that kind of stuff, which tends to get a lot of like a lot of shares and a lot of engagement. But I'm with you. We're at a finite time frame where we can leverage the organic growth on TikTok. So we'll be hammering extremely hard across there and YouTube Shorts.
Yeah. And right now, I mean, this is just because we're content creators. Just the tips that I've been using. Right now is the time to figure out sound bites. Sound bites is not something that you just try. Sound bites is a skill and a art form, just like making content is. Like, it is an art form to edit down sound bites the right way to get people. It's literally about the hook. Like, it's literally about the hook. And I know everyone says you got to hook everyone in, but there's a way to do it where it gets people to need to know the next 3 seconds, and they need to go to the 6 second. And then when they get to the 6 second of the video, they're like, okay, now I need to know what happens next, because I need to know what's going to happen in this video. And there's a way to set up the sound bites. And I used to go every maybe 20 TikToks would get a decent bit of views. Now it's like every 5. Like, it's happening like every 5 to 6 TikToks, like basically one a day is doing really well. And so, okay, that's way better than it was a few months ago. And so learning sound bites, especially for you guys, that way you can take advantage. Like right now, the goal is to get to 10,000 followers on TikTok as fast as possible, because you're right. There will be a time where TikTok doesn't blow up as fast anymore. It won't be all organic, because that's when brands start coming in. That's when advertisers come in, and it's going to be a different algorithm. It's going to be like YouTube. You have to fight your way for everything. Right now, YouTube Shorts doesn't have that. Facebook Shorts doesn't have that. Instagram Reels sort of has it, but not really. It's just for NFTs, really. And so, like, when there's opportunity, you have to strike when the opportunity is hot. And right now, TikTok and YouTube Shorts and Facebook Reels, or whatever it's called, is popping. Instagram is sort of popping sometimes, depending on what exactly content you're making. I'm not making the same kind of hot topic, highly professional edited news stories that are doing better. Like Andres are performing well. There's a couple of news channels on Instagram that are doing well. But you were right. Bryce said said it right here. He said there's a lot of attention and there's a lot more potential reach for Facebook and Instagram, but there's a lack of resonance. Yeah, people just don't care as much. So maybe you're getting views, but you're not building that community that you want. And right now, TikTok is that community. So that's where I'm putting my focus on. Yeah. So that's where my head is at. And if you can get to 10,000 followers on everywhere before the app loses relevancy a little bit or loses its opportunity, then at least you have the credibility. Okay, this guy has this many followers, so he must earn them, kind of thing. And it just gives you a little bit more credibility. So that's where really I'm focusing on. But yeah. And I see someone talking about OK Bears. So we're going to talk about that right now. Boom. OK Bears airdrops NFTs with tangible gold attached to them. Shout out WGMI for the story. So yeah, they're doing a thing where you get an airdrop of 10,000 founders coins, so one for each bear, attached with a random weight in gold. That's either 0.25, half, or 1, or 5, or 10 grams of gold. Regarding the asset's aesthetic, they will each feature hand-drawn artwork inspired by the project's original collection. This is what the airdrop will look like, and it's got a little bit of gold tied to it, which is really interesting. And in Q4 of this year, the founders coin holders will be able to redeem their NFTs for the respective gold amount attached to them. However, the NFT will then be burned, which is, I like that idea at least. And that being said, the minimum amount of gold you can receive is 10 grams. Those who possess a founders coin NFT that is attached with less than that will be able to redeem their NFT with an equivalent cash value that can be paid in USDC or Solana. At the time of writing, the price of gold is $56 per gram. So that's a decent little airdrop right there. Yeah.
This is just scroll up. This is an airdrop to everyone with a OK Bear.
Yes. Seems to be that all 10,000 will each get one, and it'll either be quarter, half, 1, 5, or 10. I mean, if you get a 10 gram one,
what do you reckon the split is? A bit of one of those. Like 99.
I do not know. Yeah, I'm not sure about that one. I feel like it's going to be a lot of these. I feel like 90% will be this, 5% this, 2, 1, something like that. I think it's going to be really, really difficult. I think the top 1%, I think it'll likely be spread out by rarity, right? I assume it'll be sponsored. Like if you have the top rare one, you'll probably get the most. Otherwise, that would kind of defeat the purpose. So it'd just be like, okay, why do I have this rare one if I'm not going to get more gold? Yeah. So I think it's really cool though. I mean, it's even if it's dumb, at least they're trying something different. And this is cool. It's like gold has a tie to like real life tangible value. And right now, like I said it in the review, I don't think OK Bears has done anything unbelievable, but I really like what they're about and I really like their brand. Even though their founder came out and said I've fucked a few projects in the past, so I was like, I don't know what it is. I just like OK Bears. Same with Lazy Lions. For some reason, I like Lazy Lions. I just do. I don't know why. They haven't done anything extraordinary. I just like them. By the way, Asher just followed me back on Twitter, so hopefully we're gonna get that podcast with the founder. But yeah, it's just one of those projects, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I just think back to the time when this was popping like 3 months ago, and I nearly bought in at like 120 sol, and I'd be absolutely fucking wrecked if I had done. And I didn't.
What are they at right now?
I didn't right now because I was like, I didn't back then because I was like, yeah, I just don't see where this is going. I'm seeing this being like super pumped. And then, to be honest, it was at the time when I think we were still in like a euphoria mode. Like Moonbirds had just dropped. It was the same time, and then the Solana summer thing was coming, and this fucking popped off, and people were like, "Oh, is Solana going to save the NFT space?" Lo and behold, it fucking didn't.
Yeah, dude, that's literally what it was. I'm gonna see if I can find this. So the one interesting thing about OK Bears is the fact that they have told people what it's going to be worth, right? Which is negative in the sense that it's not probably going to spike their floor, because usually the spike in floor leading up to a big thing like an airdrop is that people don't know what the reward is going to be. It might be something unbelievable, and so people speculate on that. Right now, they've got a 65 Solana floor price, which is equivalent to $2,700. So about, I can't do math, but like around 2 ETH ish, something like that. So decent bit. I didn't know they were that high still, but yeah, 65. That's quite a drop from a 200%, or sorry, a 200 sol floor that it got up to.
Yeah,
but
I remember I was looking at it around 120. I was like, and yeah, fucking hell, I'm glad I didn't. That was about 10K. It was about 10K buy-in at that time.
Jesus.
Morning, Todd.
What's up, Todd? What's up, fam?
Todd.
All right, and then we have this one. We have 2 stories left. Appreciate everyone being here, by the way. If you haven't already, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and smash the like button for us. And we have someone trolling celebrities by sending ETH by Tornado Cash. So I covered this on my YouTube channel. If you want to check out that full review, I did a video yesterday, a little live stream covering it. This was trending yesterday. So basically, all these celebrities are getting airdropped 0.1 ETH by Tornado Cash, and you have to use Tornado Cash basically. And so the way people use it, Tornado Cash is this thing that the reason it's called Tornado is because people can't figure out where the money came from, which is the whole concept of blockchain. You can always tell where the money came from. You can see, like, one example people always bring up that I think is a great example is like, okay, where is this politician really getting their money from? And it's like, who knows where they like, are they taking money from people that suck and they're really bad, terrible people, and they just don't talk about it? And so people don't know. And it's one of those things that like people don't. I remember it came out about what's her name, Hillary Clinton, when she was running for president. People were like, dude, she takes sponsors from these people that also employ these people, and they're like terrorists, all these things. And the blockchain, it kind of disrupts that. But Tornado Cash does the opposite. They kind of scramble it, so you can't actually tell. I'm sure there's a way to get to it. But like Vitalik Buterin, for example, came out on Twitter and said, I've used Tornado Cash before. I'm sure he's probably getting sent 0.1 ETH. He's like, I did it so that people don't know it's me. When I want to donate to Russia, I don't need Russia coming after me, attacking me, saying, why are you trying to donate? Because you're Vitalik Buterin, we're going to kill you. Kind of thing. He goes, I don't want people to know that I'm donating. So I donated it anonymously by using Tornado Cash. Another one is a really, really, really rich person was basically like, I didn't want people to know it was me doing this. So he's like, I didn't want people to know I have $5 billion in my bank account, so I just use Tornado Cash. And it's one of those things that's why people do it. But the reason this is big and this is trending on Twitter is because there's laws that are prison level laws, like 10, 15 years in prison level for people who are prominent figures accepting and getting money basically as a form of endorsement almost by whoever this motherfucker is sending all this money. And I guess they got money because they're just sending 0.1 ETH to random people, but they could be going to like prison level stuff. And I'm sure they won't, because all these high level people are just going to be like, dude, I can't control who I get money from. It's just get airdropped to my account. But it's a weird thing with the Treasury Office. They have like all these blacklisted things. You're not supposed to be using Tornado Cash. That's like the one big thing is like maybe they've been using Tornado Cash when they weren't supposed to be. So it's a very interesting story.
Yeah, big time. Yeah. I think it's just one of those things that we have these occasional stories. First up, just a quick shout out to NFT Zerk, who is apparently watching us in his pants. So out there in his Calvin Kleins.
Oh boy.
So yeah, I think like super these things come around every so often, right? We get these like big announcements where they're like, oh fuck, like, am I safe? Am I going to be okay? Is this going to destabilize like USDC? Like that was definitely one of the things that I was like, fuck, I've got, I've got cash tied up in USDC. Like, how am I at risk now? Are we going to see another UST or USDT or whatever? And
right.
And yeah, it's just that these things that I think it's a reminder that we're still so early that we've got a lot of regulation that is coming our way, and you have to be very, very careful with where you have your assets allocated.
Right. Yeah, 100%. And one thing that Dario, founder of Dropouts, told me on the podcast, he's like, look, he has his own successful business that he runs, a vegan sweets company in the real world. And he's like, there's a very, very long list of tactics you can use in marketing and stuff. He goes, none of them are being used right now. He goes, that tells me we're early because no one knows. He's like, that's sad. He goes, if we were deeper in this world, people will be using these tactics, and they're not. People don't even know about them. And he's like, that's the sign.
Like you can, like, it was an awesome interview, by the way. And the example was like collecting emails. You know, and this is something that I've been doing since December.
I know. I brought that up in the thing. I was like, I don't know why Tom's doing it, and now I'm like, oh, fuck me.
I was like, I've literally been like, I've been doing it on purpose because I understand Web 2 marketing, and it's like I understand the power of, and that's just purely because of where I've come from. Like, like in Web 2, emails are gold. Email accounts and personal information. There's a reason why there's so many laws and regulations around data protection, because emails they're not going anywhere anytime soon. There is still an extremely elegant way to send information to people in a professional or semi-professional or promotional manner. They ain't going anywhere. And so, it would be for anyone who's out there that is looking to do something like this. Think about that. There's so many projects that have launched. Imagine selling 10,000 items or to 10,000 wallets, and you could have gained an email list of like 5,000 people that you could then.
I made a mistake, dude. I made a mistake not doing that when all the attention was on NFTs. Because now if I did was like, I'm still gonna do it. I'm just gonna start slow. Maybe I'll do a couple giveaways to get people incentivized to actually drop their email, because most people don't want to do it. But with mine, like, you do a full little breakdown. I don't have time nor interest in that. The only thing I'm interested in is giving people a like 1 paragraph summary of what I did last week. Like, where's the brand going? What have we done this week? What have we accomplished? What are things that we fucked up on? Just a quick little summary of like, okay, what did the Joyous Kingdom accomplish this last week or this past month? Like, I don't know how often they'll be going out, but that way the people know, because they're not going to check Discord every announcement. They're not going to check in Discord every week and be like, okay, Cade's doing this. This is what he did last week. Like, they don't remember because there's 100 million things going on at a time. They've got their own life going on outside of Web3. I'm just in Web3, so I feel like everyone knows, but no one knows really. So having a little email that they can literally pull up on their email and literally read the whole thing in 30 seconds, be like, okay, cool, dope. Cade's doing this. He's got this coming up. Fire.
It is exactly why I do it, and the reason why I do it is public, is to hold me accountable. There was 1 week I forgot to do it in New York because I was basically that week was like fucking crazy, and I remember on Saturday I was like, fuck, this is the first time in like 30 weeks I haven't done it. I was like, well, it's too late now. And then it's like, it was painful enough to be like, now I'm never gonna forget again. But it's the same reason. It's just I enjoy doing it because it holds me accountable to help, like, keeping people in on the journey, understanding what we're up to. And at the moment, there's so much fun stuff that I get to write about and talk about, and it's exciting. Like, at the end of the week, it's actually quite a nice like reflection part for me. So I reflect on the past week, and I've been like, fuck, I've done all this cool shit. And that's
half the reason I want to do it. So I'm probably going to do it. Is it hard to set up the automatic like system? Is it like expensive or?
I think I pay like $15 to $20 a month to be able to do unlimited like campaign drop, do a weekly campaign. It's at the end of the day, you have to just look at it as like, this is a fucking dirt cheap business expense for me, in the grand scheme of stuff. But it's the accountability thing, man. Like, I think, if it's otherwise I wouldn't do it. I would, it's the fact that I've been like, okay, I'm going to do this every Friday. And I even though it takes a few hours to do it, it is really time consuming to do it. And but at the same time, I'm glad because it gives me a chance to, at the end of the week, to reflect on exactly what I've done. And I'm like, oh my God, I've created all these videos. I've done all these things. I'm like, fuck, I've done a ton. And it's, I always link back to our videos, and I'm like, shit. So yeah, I would 100% do it. And look at it from two ways. It's like, I get to connect deeper with my audience. I get to keep them up to date with stuff. And I also get to like reflect on crushing each week. It's busy. And,
plus people look at like a monthly subscription and they go, I don't know if I can afford that. But it's like, bro, you're going to blow $20 on something dumb anyway. Like, you literally will dump some $20 on something stupid every month. You will. There's no situation where you're not going to blow $20 on something dumb. I do it all. I just lost $20 yesterday trying to transfer money from a Polygon Matic wallet that I thought was Ethereum, and it was 10 cents I was transferring, not $200, and I wasted $20 with a transaction fee, thinking I was getting $200 that I found in a wallet, and it was actually 11 cents, and I was like, "Fuck me, dude!" So I literally lost $20 there, and that happens all the fucking time. Like one day you cave, you buy Chipotle, you buy $20 worth of Chipotle, like that happens every month. So to put it onto something that's helpful, I think that's worth it.
Yeah, for real, and think of it as so the reason I do it, by the way, is because I learned this from like Tim Ferriss back in fucking 15 years ago, or whatever. You know, he started his blog, and he would always talk about the value of collecting emails. And this was back in the beginning of Web 2, and the reality is it hasn't changed. You know, it hasn't. It's still that's why Dario was saying that, right? Like, the games, the rules haven't changed, and they won't change. What we're going to do is we're going to go through a period now where Web3 realize, oh fuck, we're going to have to start using the rules that have always worked, right, and revert. So and that's what I'm excited about, because I look at like my team, I look at myself, I look at Liam, and I look at Mark as co-founders, and we're all people that understand how to utilize and leverage all that shit. So again, it's just another like competitive advantage that we have. Yeah,
100%. Yeah, I agree. I like this is why this show's lit, dude. We talk about NFT stuff, but then we have a lot of things going on that are helpful in other ways. And I this show will be huge.
This is gold for people. Come on, the people.
Shit. One of the things I have this week is also to reach out to some companies for potential sponsorships too. I know we're talking with a couple right now, just for this show specifically, because I think it's a good idea. So hopefully one of those will happen at some point. Who knows? You know, maybe they're not interested during a bear market, but we'll see. So anyways, ETH merge will have several consequences for the blockchain. This is coming up somewhat soon, you know, if they don't push it back. But essentially, it's going to be called the merge, and everyone's excited because it'll change from proof of work to proof of stake, which is a bit more environmentally friendly. Has a number of consequences though that are, you know, some people know about them. It's not going to actually do too much for the block time. It's going to drop from 12 seconds or from 13 to 12 seconds, so literally nothing. But it will reduce overall issuance of ETH by 4.2% a year, which is cool, and it'll make it deflationary. This is the big word that everyone's excited about. It's going to become deflationary. It's going to go up in value. The thing is, it's been becoming deflationary for like months. Right, like it's not like on the day of the merge, with like some magic wand happens and some like fairy comes out of heaven and like sprinkles shit on your ass. Like that's not what's going to happen. It's just going to become like in quotes deflationary. But there's been I don't even know how many Ethereum has been burned since they started this shit, but it's fucking a lot. Like how much ETH has been burned? Let me see. There has been almost $6 billion of Ethereum burned since they started this, right? So it's not like when it becomes the merge, if something will happen. At least I don't think anything crazy will happen. That's just my perspective on it.
So down that bottom paragraph that you can see the post-merge ETH. Read that one.
Post-merge ETH can be viewed as a relatively energy efficient and environmentally friendly crypto asset, as energy expenditure is expected to decrease by 99.95%, which basically renders all the other Ethereum killers useless, because that is their main bid, is that Ethereum is killing the world. That's why we need Cardano. That's why we need Sol. And that's where we'll see. You know, I still think ETH will win, just because they have market experience and market time, and Solana and Cardano have a fucking heart attack every time more than 3 people try and use their ecosystem. But that's also going to change with time. I'm sure Ethereum had a lot of issues in the beginning too. But for people to come out and say, it's like Jake Paul saying Canelo sucks, I should be fighting. It's like, no, dude, maybe one day you can say that, but right now you are still a beginner, right? And that's kind of how I look at Sol and Cardano right now.
One of the statistics that go alongside that, with the 99.95 reduction in energy, like efficiency or whatever, crazy stat. So you said $6 billion have been burned in Ethereum, and
gone forever.
Yeah. Guess how much Ethereum operational equipment will be like obsolete after the merge. Like
unbelievable amounts.
Value $5 billion worth of Ethereum rigs.
That's wild, because now what, right? They like, a lot of people have been making money doing that. Like I know, I don't want to dox him. I know another influencer out there who makes a lot of his money because he has a couple of miners, ETH miners. He makes a lot of money doing that. I was like, fuck, this guy's going to lose his like mainstream income. Yeah, it's crazy. It's not, that's the thing. Like, that's why this is so wild, is because like, this is something this is the like part of the reason decentralization is becoming a thing, is because capitalism has always been that thing that benefits the people who are already winning. And they're not gonna. It's kind of like the government. They don't want people to be smart, like that. The idea, the conspiracies about like they want to keep people as workers because that's not helpful to them if everyone starts thinking for themselves, that kind of thing. And right now, it doesn't help a lot of the people who are in charge, who have all the ETH miners, who are all rich as fuck, and they're all going to keep making money. They probably don't want this to happen because that means less money in their pocket. But it's going to happen anyway because decentralization, crypto is looking to solve the problem. So that's why I'm excited for cryptos, because like, is crypto going to become something new and different because they're looking to change the world? Or is it just going to turn into the exact same thing that everything else has always been, just the new version of it, the digital version of all the corrupt shit that's already happening? You know, that's why I'm excited, because I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah. Yeah, neither do I, man. Like, no fucking idea. I think there's a lot of like technical stuff that this is a big deal. This is a big deal. And yeah, I'm interested to see how this affects like stability of the coin, like price action on coins. Yeah. I think a lot of people, yeah, this could be a hyper volatile time where people could make a ton. At the same time, it could be a lot of people getting wrecked. I think with volatility, you get equal amounts of both, right? You get tons of people getting, you know, fucking winning, tons of people getting wrecked.
Yeah, I mean, that's what's happening right now, literally, with this little potential little bull cycle, or where we're in, like, at the ETH is at $1,800, or is this just a literal, we're just going to bounce off and go straight back down? A lot of the bigger influencers, like Elliot Trey, has been talking about this just being a fake. It's a fake out. We're going to go right back down. And he's basically saying it's all the people who know what they're doing that are waiting for the crash to come back down. And all the retail is going to make the exact same mistake they've made every single year. And they're all going to start FOMOing in when ETH hits $1,900, $2,000 again, saying, okay, this is it. We got to jump in right now. And then as soon as it hits $2,400, it crashes all the way back down. Everyone loses all their money, kind of thing. So there will always be the retail that doesn't know what they're doing, and they just follow the herd. Whatever the number did yesterday, they're going to roll with that, and they're going to use that as their metric rather than using TA or a longer term strategy than just swing trading. And most people suck at swing trading.
Yeah, I don't. I'm at this point where I'm like, I have no interest. I don't have enough capital to risk like putting into this stuff. Like, I personally, my personal belief is that you need hundreds of thousands at the very least, if not millions, to really be like playing this game. But you need to be playing it very carefully. But from every single smart person I speak to, or I've heard speak, everyone is like, do you know what? We're not seeing max pain for at least another 6 to 9 months. And what anything is at the moment is like, we might see a rally up towards Christmas, but we're going to see a housing market crisis. We're going to see close borderline hyperinflation. And I mean, I'm feeling it myself. Like, my fucking rent just got bumped up by 12%.
Did it really?
Yeah, 12%.
Fuck.
And that's like, you know, it's when you see that and you're like, fuck, man, this was it's a big chunk.
God damn, dude.
Like a big chunk, you know, that's a huge chunk. But like, to your point, right? Your point is that these moments in time in capitalism favors the people who are already wealthy. I think that the thing that I'm not concerned about at the moment is that now I understand that I'm kind of at peace, and I'm like, my game is, how do I get into that bracket as fast as possible?
I agree, dude.
Kangaroo Express, Max Payne, and Jan. Yeah,
Kangaroo Express, the gas station, is here watching us. Wait, do you know this gas station?
No, bro. Is there a gas station called Kangaroo Express?
Yes, it's called Kangaroo Express in the US.
Sounds Australian as fuck, mate.
Actually, Kangaroo is one of my favorite gas stations back in Charleston. It was one of the cleanest. It was one of the ones that had all the slushies in there. So shout out Kangaroo Express. We appreciate you guys. Please give us some gas.
Kangaroo Express, mate.
All right, guys, that's pretty much gonna bring this to a close. I just want to bring this everyone's attention real quick. Matt, I just went on to his show. He's doing a little new show where we talk about more trending topics. He has another. This is not his NFT account. He has another NFT account, but this is him covering more news related stuff in regards to just life. And his TikTok has popped off again. It's becoming lit, and it's like every single video is getting thousands of views. Like every 5th video is getting like 100K. So he's really, really crushing it again. And so we're doing a little bit of a show where we talk about other things. Like this first episode is basically literally on Andrew Tate. which is funny. And so I'm not sure when that's going to come out, but you guys should follow his TikTok account if you guys are interested in current events. He's been covering it every day, multiple videos a day, really high quality shit. And he'll just kind of cover it. He does this style like news where he's here on the front, on the top, kind of talking about stuff. And then it has like whatever else going on under it. And he's just really high quality videos. He's been putting out a lot of work. It's high quality videos. I don't know why this isn't playing right now.
The only man in the metaverse that wears a suit. So if you can't,
dude,
can you trust?
He's the Lex Fridman of the NFT world. So he's crushing it.
That's a good analogy, actually.
Yeah, he's crushing it. And so that's pretty much it, dude. I mean, I should be in the next week or so. I should be getting reached back out by that show host company job thing. It should be coming out in the next week or so. I should get a response. And then with Cooler, that other company that I maybe make content for, they should be reaching out. I think I have a meeting with them Friday, so in 2 days. So I'll know more details. I know for a fact they signed the company, so I should be pretty much there. I should be at the finish line. So who knows? I don't want to call too early, but yeah, we'll see what happens. I'm really excited. I'm bullish on the Joy's Kingdom, bullish on the Summit Club, and yeah, fam, make sure you subscribe to his channel. Make sure you go follow us on Twitter. Make sure you follow his shit on Twitter, because I'm sure announcements will be coming out very soon, mate. Let's give one top tip before we leave. Go set up your LinkedIn account if you haven't done it. Like, Cade is crushing it on LinkedIn right now. Like, the guy knows what's up. Like, this is, if you are trying to forge a career in Web3, you need to have a presence on LinkedIn. That is where all professional stuff happens. That's where jobs are going to come up. Set yourself up for success by making it clear that you are a Web3 native. Go and fucking set up your profile. Go and look at Cade's. Go and look at my profile. See how we've set it up to optimize them, and get posting, get speaking in there. That is the lowest barrier to entry to like potentially get some more work in. So yeah, and it might get tough over the next like 6 to 9 months. So just do that. Go make yourself look like a professional. Exactly. That's the only thing I do. I don't even upload every day like I do on all my other accounts with LinkedIn. I just make sure I upload a few times a week, just stuff, my thoughts on things. If I'm sharing something, LinkedIn is a good place. So you just want, the main goal with LinkedIn for me is just so that people, when they click on my page, they know exactly what I'm offering, what I'm about. So you're right. So LinkedIn's a big one. That's the code word if you made it to the very end, by the way. Smash like in this video, subscribe to the channel. Code word is going to be LinkedIn. I want to see that spam in the chat. If it's not your first episode of Tea Time with us, and this is episode 27 or something, which I'm sure it is for everyone in here, I want to see OG spammed in the chats, guys. Yeah, until next time, continue to enjoy, continue to learn. We're here for your live watching this video. So, do you want to close out in the Summit Club since that's coming up? The Summit is infinite. We're just here to help each other climb. We'll see you next time. Peace.